Go. You're all set.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mark Fortin. I'm Chairman, Macomb County Republican Party. Today is August 1st, 2024, and it is about 3:45 in the afternoon. We're doing a quick little video today. We plan, as the election unfolds here, this election season, to do more and more videos to keep you abreast of what's going on. This being August 1st is before the primaries of August 6th. We didn't plan on doing a video this early, but a lot of things are happening about Macomb, and we believe that we should make comments on it, and some things happening in Macomb that you should know. So I'd like to start off by talking about a recent endorsement made by the 9th Congressional District. The 9th Congressional District covers, I believe it's 6 counties, extending from northern Macomb and a piece of Oakland County all the way up to the tip of the thumb, Huron, Saginaw, Lapeer, and other counties. The 9th District Board recently endorsed an individual for Macomb County Sheriff. We don't think it's ethical. I did read their bylaws, by the way, and there's nothing really a surprise, because most Republican bylaws have verbiage in it preventing you from endorsing in a primary. And there's no such verbiage that I could find in their bylaws. So it's not illegal what they did, but in my opinion, it's highly unethical. Why do 6 Michigan counties have an interest in the sheriff race in one of them? I have strong feelings of that sheriff race. And in the past, I and my vice chair have given personal endorsements in different races, and we feel very strongly in this race. However, after 2 years of state party controversy and endless strife and slander and everything, we thought it'd be a wise idea to stay out of it. And we have not endorsed personally or otherwise in the sheriff race. Now, we believe that was wrong, and we weren't saying a lot about it until the 10th District recently, I believe on the 24th, the 10th Congressional District, which covers the rest of Macomb County, the bulk of Macomb County, and Rochester, I believe, a town or two in Oakland. They put out a letter with a strong message of condemnation for what the 9th Congressional District did. We're really busy putting together a convention and things like that, so I've had very little time, and I have not time to call the chairs of the 6 other counties. I would like to know how many Macomb County people sit on the 9th District Board. It can't be very many. How did they convince the board to stick their nose into a sheriff race in Macomb County? Now, they did put out a letter or notice of other endorsements they've made in some of those counties. And it's interesting how they endorsed some members of the 9th District Board for various public races. So I just want to also add my voice to the 10th District, which was a surprise to me. I didn't know they were going to do that. But I'd like to add my voice to the 10th District pronouncement that this was not ethically proper and it was not right, and that the whole entire area of Michigan should not be involved in one county sheriff race. So that's pretty much all I have to say about that. But since I said that about that, that leaves it open to another subject. Because if I end it there, we're going to get criticism, because the Macomb County Republican Party did endorse in the primary a certain race. So I'd like to explain that, because it was ethical, proper, and according to our bylaws. First of all, our bylaws do say that an affirmative vote of 3/4 majority of the committee of the whole may decide to get involved in an intra-party race in extraordinary circumstances. Okay, a 3/4 vote. I called a special meeting of our executive committee on July 1st just for that purpose. There's a county commission race, and it turned out there's also a township treasurer race with this same issue going on. The Macomb County Clerk's Office put out a publication on April 26, 2024. It was one of the last lists of all the candidates in the county for every race. And County Commissioner District 5, there was a Democrat, long-time, well-established, well-known Democrat in Macomb County named, I have a difficulty with the first name, I'm so sorry, I apologize ahead of time, but Urjic, I think, Ujkic, Peshko, a long-time, well-known Democrat. And he was running in the 5th District commission race against Don Van Sickle, the incumbent. It shows in the document here that his name is lined out and it says withdrawn as a Democrat, and then it's added with Don Van Sickle as a Republican. Now, this is happening here and there around the state. It's good news, actually. It's showing that the Democrats know they don't have much of a prayer in November. Democrats are going to get trounced in November. So their only hope is to take out Republicans in the primary, change your affiliation, become a real rhino. I've said many times we use the rhino too much, but the word rhino fits this perfectly. This is a Democrat running as a Republican. It's right on the county clerk's documents. And I got lots of his campaign literature that's very interesting also. Now, in his campaign literature, he says that the county treasurer, a Republican, the county prosecutor, a Republican, and one of the county commissioners, Republican, that they all endorse him. Now, first of all, it's not exactly true because the prosecutor, Pete Lucido, does not endorse him, and he has sent the Macomb County Republican Party a letter saying so. Now, we didn't think he did it in the very beginning because when I talked to Mr. Van Sickle, he told me that that was not true, that Mr. Lucido was supporting Mr. Peshko. But Mr. Lucido did send this letter that you can see to the Macomb County Republican Party, clearly declaring that he is not supporting Mr. Peshko in that race. Now, a person living in the area just gave me a door hanger, and in that door hanger, it still claimed that Mr. Lucido is supporting him. So we want the world to know this. So we had a special meeting, and by a 3/4 majority, the Macomb County Republican Party has endorsed Don Van Sickle, the real Republican, for re-election in District 5 of the County Commission. But I think there's more to this. But also, though, before I say that, when I studied the sheet on down, I did not look at township races. And here in Chesterfield Township, the incumbent Republican treasurer, Elliott, the same identical thing happened, where the Democrat, name crossed out, withdrawn, and that name is appearing on the Republican ticket against her. Again, I view this as a good thing because it's just more evidence that these people are bailing. They know darn well they cannot win in November, so they have to change their identity, so to speak. They have to transition, so to speak. But anyway, their heart's not going to transition. If we can't beat the Republicans, what we're going to do is take them out as Republicans. And this is one of the reasons our Republican Party is in such terrible shape. This is why when we control things and we have a majority, hardly anything gets done because so many of our people are that way. And that stuff's got to stop. But as I look into this, there's something appears to be, I underline appears to be a little deeper in this Peshko race than what meets the eye. It's not just a simple fact that he cannot win in November, I don't believe. It's interesting how our county treasurer supports him. In one of his full-page things, I don't have it in front of me, we have a few of them, full-page, that gets mailed out. In one of them, on the back, he has all the big sins of Mr. Van Sickle. One of them is that he voted against this land grant thing that came up before the county commission. The state government wants the counties involved in a land grant program. Now, remember, when something's done in your community, is paid for by a grant, is paid for by you. Indirectly, is paid for by citizens' taxes, okay? And that's where it comes from, and that's the way it is. So we pay for everything. But it's a program whereby you take properties that nobody wants, and the county can purchase them with grant money and improve them and sell them. Now, that is the government interfering in the free market system directly, changing property taxes and all kinds of things in the process, and taking our money that they're making money on. Where's the profit go? Oh, it goes to the county. For us, the county. Oh, really? I happen to know that the treasurer really supported that program big time, and Mr. Van Sickle voted against it, thankfully, protecting the people of Macomb County from this grab. Now, the structure of this, I've been told, is this. Had the county commission voted for this nonsense, it's a new bureaucracy in Macomb. Just what we needed, a new bureaucracy. And that bureaucracy is a 5-person panel. Now, remember, the county commission was asked to set this up. All right? Now, had they done it, this is who picks the 5 people. Our Democrat, Mark Hackle, known as a conservative Democrat. Well, we all got our opinion on that, and mine is not that way. Mr. Hackle gets to put 3 people on that commission, or bureaucracy, what I call it. The county commission that creates it gets 1, and the treasurer gets 1. Now, when this was explained to me by the treasurer, he mentioned the Romeo tank plant. Now, think about this, ladies and gentlemen, especially those of you a little older than me and watch this stuff go on forever. Every time somebody wants to build a factory in America somewhere, you have 3-4 states competing for it, right? And they're all offering up everything. So many years, no taxes. We'll improve the infrastructure around it, the roads, the sewers, the water, blah, blah, blah. We'll do all these things for you to please bring your plant here for jobs. You better believe that happened with the Romeo engine plant. So Ford builds an engine plant in Romeo with taxpayer assistance, all capital letters, taxpayer assistance. And what happens after a number of years, this plant I don't think is that old. We'd have to research it. I did not look into it. I don't think this is an ancient plant at all. But anyway, Ford abandoned it. They don't want it no more. So now we're going to use a land grant system, taking taxpayer money from one way or another, and we're going to purchase the facility, and we're going to improve, but in what define improve? Remake it for something else, tear it all down, sell the property for something else? Who knows? But these 5 people, all unelected, by the way, get to decide what happens. So let's say they decide they got to tear it down. Well, it's a factory. It's a car engine plant. I bet you some of that land has got to be cleaned, environmental, right? So we get contracts. We get contracts for the company to clean it up, or contracts for the company to tear it down. Whatever. Who gets the contracts? Those 5 unelected people. Can you imagine a potential graft involved in that at taxpayers' expense? Can you imagine how this can go awry? We've seen it so many damn times. It's unbelievable. So now here we have, by coincidence only, this gentleman is criticizing Van Sickle for that vote. That tells me if he gets elected, he'll vote the other way, right? And we have the treasurer that wanted it supporting him. I'm not making any claim. I'm just telling you some things here. I'm not claiming anybody's doing anything. But we all watch this stuff play before us in the media every day. The major problem in our country today is bureaucracies, unelected people passing laws that you and I have to obey. And you tell your elected officials that set up the bureaucracy, well, they did it, not me. Well, yeah, you set it up, though. You gave them the power and the authority, but they don't want to go there. Well, we got term limits. I've only been here 4 or 5 years. They did that 10 years ago. It's not me. I'll tell you what, folks, we either are going to start having an impact on our own government that's supposed to be working for us, or we are not. So the Macomb County Republican Party, using a paragraph in our bylaws, legitimately supports Don Van Sickle because he stood up for the voters of Macomb County. Mr. Pashko is a Democrat, pure and simple through and through, and he will not. He will vote the other way, and we will have another bureaucracy in Macomb County. That's what I think. I can't prove, but I think. I told you why I think that way. You look into it, and you see how you think. Anyway, and also the Chesterfield Township race, I think that we have done nothing officially, but myself personally, I live there, I vote. I'm going to vote for the incumbent and not for the Democrat that switched the last minute. I want to thank you all. I just want to remind you that today is August 1st, and our next county meeting is on August 8th at the Shelby Gardens. You can go to Macomb-GOP.com, our website. There's a calendar there and everything. You can get our newsletter on the website. There's a little place in the beginning. You click on it at the beginning, at the top of it, and you click on it, put your name, address, I think it's zip code, email, and you will get our newsletter every week also. It's a great newsletter. A lot of stuff in it. And I don't believe I'm forgetting anything. But after this August 6th election, we're going to start doing a lot of videos, working to our way to November. We must win in November. There's no second way, so we're going to win. And we're going to win big. We got to work hard for that. We need volunteers. So we're going to do door-to-door at a lot of things. And we need people to stuff the bags to go door-to-door. We have clear plastic bags, and we support all the Republican candidates that win on August 6th. That's why we're supposed to stay out of it, because you, the voters, decide these things. On August 6th, you decide who the Republican nominee will be for a certain race in November. And our job is to get them elected. Okay? We have a right to our personal opinion. I have made personal endorsements in the past, but we all have that right. But the county parties and the district parties, even if it's not in their bylaws, ought to respect the voter to choosing who they support. Anyway, thank you. God bless. Please pray for our president. I believe God's protecting him, and we have got to keep praying and protecting him. And he's got to win in November. If we don't win in November, there's no coming back from this Democrat mess that they've got us into. We're too far down that road. God bless all of you. See you soon. Thank you.